Two of my favorite people. Hey, Antonio and Irina, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing good. I'm just so glad to finally get you guys on the show so you can kick it with me for a little bit. I've introduced you briefly to our listening audience, and they have been wanting to hear from somebody that wasn't like retired and old and ugly like me. So I said, well,
I'm semi-retired. We're semi-retired.
oh, semi, that's right. We finna learn it. We finna learn it today, right? Anyway, please do introduce yourselves. Tell me where you're from and just a little bit about the two of you.
Okay. I'm Antonio Navarro. Obviously, my wife, Irina Navarro. I'm from Oklahoma, and yeah, I'm from Oklahoma, and I met this pretty lady in Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, we've been having fun ever since.
Absolutely. I'm from Denver, Colorado. And like Tony said, we did meet in Atlanta.
She's kind of from Denver, I think.
I was raised in Jersey, so sometimes my Jersey accent
Jersey
comes out.
in the house.
So yeah, but yeah, we just been traveling the world together.
That is so awesome. I love you two together. You have you seem to really enjoy each other and have a lot of fun just living your life. And I just think that that's awesome. So you're from Oklahoma. What part of Oklahoma, Antonio?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You know, we were stationed there at one time.
Tinker?
Oh, yes.
Oh, don't talk about my military bases like that.
It was honestly one of my least favorite places. Oklahoma.
That's Midwest City. That's Midwest City. So don't. You know, it's a 30-minute difference. No,
whatever. But you know, it was an experience, and but yeah, we were at Tinker for a little while. Al was still in the Air Force. So okay, so Irina, so you were born in Denver. That's what you say. But you was mainly raised in Jersey, right?
Yeah, my mom left when I was 6 months, and so
that's what I said.
I said born in Denver.
You wanted them. There's somebody, when you say you're from Denver, and there's somebody says, oh, girl, have you ever been to so-and-so? Do you remember so-and-so? Well, wait a minute. I left when I was 6 months.
I don't think I'm going to remember
it. Girl, you from Jersey. You better go ahead and claim that New Jersey. You act like you from Jersey. You ain't no girl. Stop.
I'm a Broncos fan, and I have the right to claim Broncos. That's
okay. So you claiming your birthrights. I get it. My daughter was like, she used to say she was from Jersey because she was born in Jersey. She said she stopped saying that because then people want to talk about Jersey. She was like, well, I really don't know because I wasn't there to understand where I was. And so I think she finally settled on her being from Virginia. From Virginia. So I get it. Well, in any event, I'm glad that your paths crossed. And I know that you all have some children in the mix.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a 2-year-old upstairs sleeping right now. So she'll probably join the party at some point.
Yeah. You know she always do.
Top of the steps.
Right.
And then I have a 6-year-old who lives in Florida with his mother. And that is great. He's great. And that's why we go back and forth all the time. So
that's what's up. That is really awesome. Awesome that you have you're keeping the family together. So has he been to Panama yet? He was in Panama.
Not yet. We're still working on that, but we'll get him here.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. Oh, that's right. Y'all were back in the States when I saw you with him recently. Got you. Okay, as long as that connection is made. And I know, Antonia, you don't like me getting in your business and everything, but people are wanting to talk to some younger people about moving to Panama. And so, would you tell us what you want to tell us about your current age?
We are under 40, obviously have two kids. So things that are important are schools, still safety, things of that nature. I would say as far as expenses go, treat it like you're moving to another state in the US. There's a lot of expenses up front, and then when you get there, it kind of settles in, just kind of behind. But
So tell me this, how did you decide to move to Panama? What was that process like for you?
well, I was former military, so I did a lot of traveling to begin with. My actual first choices for researching were really Asia. So it was really more so Thailand, Philippines, some of those places, maybe Bali. But as I kept searching around, I was looking for the community, looking for people that kind of reflected more of what we look like, and that those kind of things started to be more important than just the lavish location or nice location. You wanted to have a community in that. So as we were searching around, I came across this lady named Charlotte Van Horn. And we, of course, so we started to look into that, and kind of the business and the personal side just kind of started to go together, where we were already looking to build another community platform, and we could see that that would really benefit the community, and then the place where you were really worked out. So we just started to dive deeper into researching things, and then we ended up, settling here.
Yeah.
So tell me, when did you actually arrive in Panama? How long have you been here, and what has your residency process been?
Yeah, say something.
We got here in April. So first we went to Mexico.
We went to Tijuana, Mexico for a few weeks. I think about 3 weeks first.
So we did that, and then when we got to Panama, we were staying at different Airbnbs to try out different areas to decide what felt like home. So that was kind of like our first step, which kind of led us to where we are now.
Right. We stayed in Edison Park, that area, and then in some
Edison Park. You said Edison Park?
Yeah, it's Edison Park. It's, that's the closest neighborhood name I could see to identify it. But yeah,
I never heard of that. What is it near?
Edison, it's near. Well, I wouldn't say it's near, but I'd say it's in between Los Angeles and La Correja and something else. But it's kind of in the middle of it. It doesn't really have a big name. You got to zoom in, to really.
So is it like more in the city? Because I'm not even familiar with Los Angeles. Do you mean
it's more in the city?
Yeah.
Do you mean San Francisco?
No, I don't.
Is there a Los Angeles in Panama City?
Yeah, there is. Oh, you thought on the map it says so. Google got it wrong. Google has it wrong,
No, there's a lot of places. I'm glad that you say that, because there's a San Francisco,
right.
I know, but there's a lot of places in the city that I don't really know the name of. And so there might be places that I've been like to and fro and going through, but just don't know the name of. So I'll have to look up where to see the Los Angeles piece, because that is different. So you tried, that was the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And really the city was just an easy transition. We knew we wanted to be at the beach. It was just easy to come in from the airport, to not drive 2 hours or so out the way, to finally get settled in. It was just an easy transition, and then more so a check in the box. Do we want to try this or not kind of situation?
Yeah.
So we did that for, we stayed there for like a week or so. And then we went to Panama Pacifico for about a week. And then that place was a little more boring. It was nice, but it was just the area was a little, wasn't exciting for us.
Yeah.
I think, something that now that you say that, I think that I would describe Panama Pacifica as a little sterile. Like very just sterile. Just
there.
I can see where somebody would say that. I think that it's an awesome area. I think that they have the plans that they have for the place is amazing. And I guess
I could see that they have some plans in the works, and I can see how things are going to come, but It was, I mean, somebody would like it. It just wasn't for us.
Right.
Well, that's great. I mean, I think that it's good because you see a lot of stuff online, and then you see people saying, well, I really like it here and why they like it there, but it's nothing like going and feeling it for yourself and
Right.
and trying to decide whether or not you can see or feel yourself being there. So you ended up down towards the beach, and so you knew really from the beginning that that's kind of where you wanted to end up. That's where you thought you wanted to end up.
Right, yeah, because we moved from Denver, downtown Denver, so we did the whole city life, living around.
Condo.
Yeah, so we experienced that, but we've never lived on the beach until now.
Right. And plus we have a backyard. So one thing we did different was, I know a lot of people go to the condos or the subdivisions, where we kind of wanted to be in Panama, kind of feel a little bit more, just kind of in the mix amongst people. So we have a single family home, and we have access to the beach and whatever else. So, but that's really the big part of that is we have a yard for the kids. So they can go out the door and just play versus, coming down elevators and stairs or whatever else and trying to, figure out somewhere to go do. So that's a big thing. And then she definitely wants, she already got her cat.
Yes, we got the cat.
But then she wants a dog.
He'll be here today.
And I don't do dogs unless they can be self-sufficient, and that means a backyard to go out by yourself. I'm not walking you through the city.
Antonio, dogs are high maintenance.
Yes.
Dogs
and
are,
now I got
dogs are
two
high
girls.
They need
a dog.
psychologists and everything.
Yes.
Dogs need psychologists, everything. The dogs are like high maintenance. I watch people with their dogs. When I was growing up in the country, because I grew up in Jersey, but I grew up in a very rural area. I love dogs. There was never a time when I had less than 5. My mom used to let me have them, and they were just strays, or you get a stray, that thing turn up having babies, Then you have more. Come to find out, my mother and my brother used to take them for a ride. They used to call some of them puppies for a ride.
Yeah.
But I always loved taking care of dogs. But I tell you what, I would go out there and I'd get like a big bucket of water and take the ticks off of them. And the big ticks just fall and bam, they drown in the bottom. And then the other ones that use like a rock or a fire, you get to set fire to the little ones. That's the only time my mama let me play with matches.
Wow.
Wow. But nowadays, I always think every time I see somebody walking a dog and walking behind them with a bag in their hand and then picking up the poop and everything, every single time I see that, I be thinking to myself, my mother is turning over in her grave watching these people following behind dogs picking up poop. I mean, stepping in dog poop was just a part of living. What I'm saying? Dog poop. I mean, it used to be good luck, if you stepped in some dog poop. But then and now, these lazy behind dogs, my husband, we were watching somebody out in the community the other day, and he said they don't even put dirt over their mess no more.
Right. They just somebody will get that. Somebody will pick it up.
They watch the owners like, that's right, clean it up.
And that's why I said I cannot do. That's why we did not. She's been one of the dogs. We was downtown Denver for a couple of years, and we would laugh at the people because it's cold in Denver. It snows, and they are still out there 2-3 times a day, stretching through all the snow. I'm like, no, it's not happening. I don't like the dog that much. Not today.
A cat. That's how I ended up with a cat, y'all. That's how I ended up with a cat as an adult. And cats live a long time, so get ready for her to be around for a long time. And so, okay, let me digress. So, Irina, you wanted the cat for multiple purposes, right? Because you live in an area where they have green around you. So green around you means...
So we have geckos. We also have, which is even more, is scorpions. We found like 2 of them. So Tony's working on like making sure, they're not in the house anymore. But I looked at what eats them, and cats can kill them. So we have Isla in the house all the time. So I was like, we definitely need to get a cat. And I think that's kind of what pushed me over the
Oh,
edge.
y'all did not tell me about the scorpion piece.
Right.
My goodness. And this is like, you're outside of Gorgona, correct?
What we're in, I guess we're still, if we say anything about where we are, everyone says we're going up. But we're all the way at the end in Malibu Playas. We're at the beach in Malibu Playas.
Well,
But
I
it's
love
still-
anything. I love anything Malibu. Like
Yeah.
like the Malibu Barbie.
Well, they have the, what is it called? Not just, we got the Panama Beach Bar Club.
Yes.
They're building that. It should be
Bikini
opening
Beach
over Bikini Beach Bar. is
Yeah.
what it is.
Bikini.
Bikini Beach
Club.
Bar.
Like you'll be able to sit down in the water while you're ordering your drink. So they have a pool. They're gonna have a restaurant.
Yeah, a whole
fresh
situation.
food, yeah.
Within walking
They're
distance.
opening in November.
A whole situation.
Yes.
One whole situation.
Yes.
How close is your closest neighbor?
I don't know. No, so Catty Corner to us, they're building a new place. So that would be the closest whenever that's finished. But then I'll say 3 to 4 lots in a direction.
Yeah.
So not far away. We still see houses. We still see people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you are
We're
in
not
a
staring in someone else's window.
community. You're in a planned community.
No, it's not planned.
It's a
It's
dirt
not
road.
planned.
It's not Charlotte approved dirt road.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that now.
I think that it's interesting that you are under 40 and you wanted the things that you want, because a lot of under 40s would have definitely gone for the condo. The condo in the sky, and there are kids over there. There are kids over there in some of those condos. Do you have any of those options nearby? Like, what is the closest place to you that is like a high-rise condo?
The closest one, I wouldn't consider the Biltmore a high rise, because it's not, I mean, it obviously is a big condo building, but it's the Ocean Waves and then the Royal Palms after that.
Yeah.
Okay. We go to Royal Palm. We go to Royal Palm all the time. Well, that's good. One thing I like about Panama is options. And I think that you guys did really good, like finding your place and making sure that you got exactly, what you wanted, so that's what matters. But the Scorpions, Antonia, I'm gonna need you to get the Scorpions under control. Okay. It'd be nice if at least the lizards would eat the scorpions.
Right.
Right, because we see a little lizard, little iguanas on our wall sometimes.
Right.
Not iguanas. Iguanas are bigger. You got
No, we have iguanas.
Not in the house.
Not in the house, on the outside.
Yeah.
on the outside. Yes. Now, believe it or not, I got more love for iguanas than I do for geckos. And I guess iguanas are on the outside, and that's their lane. That's their lane. That's their place. I'm not gonna fool with you. Don't come in my house fooling with me. But them little geckos, they come in. So have Isla seen the geckos? How does she respond to this?
Yeah, because so today there was one. This is my first time seeing one on the floor. It was a little one, and it ran across the floor. I wanted to get the cat and be like, that's your job. But she was downstairs. I just let it go. But I was not scared of them. She doesn't run up to them. She's a little thug. She just like whatever.
She's not a thug. She's a young lady.
She is a young lady, but she's not afraid.
She's not afraid. My granddaughter isn't either. And I guess it's good that you don't overreact when you see them, Irina.
Not anymore.
I mean, I never
No, she never screamed and that crazy. She just doesn't like it.
Because they're like, they'll climb and just be over top of you. And you just like,
I don't like them on the ceiling. Well, I don't like them anyway. But I mean, them being on the ceiling really.
I know you scream at people for leaving your door open because they might come in.
That's a no-no. Look, I'd be like Big Ange. That's a no-no. Remember Big Ange on?
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a no-no. You don't leave no door open at my house. Okay. So all right, so you guys are around Gorgona. You came to Panama because you just fell in love with Charlotte Van Horn. And you had considered some other countries in Asia.
Yeah, so like Thailand, I've been to Thailand for a couple of weeks. That was a great experience for me. That was through the military. So I was thinking to go back again, and so obviously that was an option. The Philippines, I was thinking because they speak English, so that was a big thing. It was like make transition easier, whenever you get
Mhm.
at
And
least
you
in the
have been to
UK.
the Philippines too?
I have not been to the Philippines. I know like a lot of my friends have been to the Philippines, so that was yeah. That I've been to Scotland, I've been to El Salvador and Japan, and I'm sure somewhere else, but I
I
can't
mean, there's
remember. But yeah.
nothing like traveling. And I think that traveling, and I always talk about my experience with traveling. Like when I was growing up, the people in my life, nobody traveled. Nobody traveled. My mother was like refused to get on a plane. I don't know if she had lived to be older, if we could have ever convinced her to get up in the sky. Absolutely not. But as a younger person, the only people I knew in my life who were international went to Vietnam. And I just
Wow.
really like they were Vietnam vets, and of
Right,
course they all came back with issues. And so
right.
Yeah.
travel was just never, I never could conceive any place being better than the United States.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
my grandma helped with that. She's 84 now, and she's texting us as we
She's trying to be
speak
here
last night.
November
She's
1st.
trying to come over here November 1st to come visit,
Yeah.
come do this and that. And
Yeah.
her and my uncle, they went to Africa. They traveled with a doctor through Africa, and was it Kenya and Ghana, I believe is where they had went to. So now my whole family as a whole doesn't just travel internationally like that. I mean, not when I was growing up. As the years have come on, they're starting to travel a lot more. But my grandmother, her and my uncle's just the adventurous type. Just all right, we'll be gone. All right, you want me
wow,
to
and
come? Just give
she's
me a speeding ticket.
84
I'll
and
be
still
there.
traveling.
Yes, she's 84
That's
still.
that's living. I mean, that is living because I think just seeing other places just broadens you so much. It
Yeah.
just builds character. I think it builds character. I think it builds empathy. And Alfredo, of course, when I met him, he was very, very traveled, and dare I say, much more sophisticated than myself. But you couldn't tell me nothing. I don't care. I don't care how ghetto and what's the other word they say? Ratchet.
Ratchet.
I was. You could never tell me nothing. I don't care. I knew what I knew, and that's what I knew. But I'm glad that I was able to broaden my mind, and now I really enjoy travel. So that's a good part. I'm glad that you're here in Panama. Okay, so you relocate to Panama. You've been here since about April. Tell us about your residency process, and we all want to hear this story.
I wonder why you're trying to get this. Yeah. So we are getting ready to apply for a Pensionado Visa. Yes, we're under 40. Yes, this is gonna happen.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
But we're gonna apply with one of the attorneys with B. We're gonna apply, and then I know there's a whole list of benefits, and truthfully, the only real benefit that I actually care about is being able to stay here long term and stuff like that. To tell you the truth,
Oh,
but
those flight benefits, those
but
flight
those
benefits.
flight benefits is what she cares about. She cares about
Yes.
those flight benefits and all the other benefits that come along with that. But that should be an interesting process. I'll be really
Yes.
happy when that goes through and gets finished.
So that's a good thing for people to know, because people think pensionado and they think like old people, but the pensionado just means that you have a pension. And so
Right.
literally, Irina has married well. Listen, Irina, I tell them, I said, you know what? Y'all young girls need to get your life together. You need to re-examine some things. I say, y'all are looking for thugs. I'm looking for the man with a pension. Pension, because I mean, pensions are not just easy to come by nowadays, like used to. And my husband, I said, yeah, look, y'all discount these OGs if you want. I said, that thing, he got a military pension. He got a pension from the U.S. Air Force. That thing got the Social Security. That thing got VA disability. That thing got a pension from the Prince William County government. Listen, that's my man. Come for it if you want to. I will cut you to the
All you
white.
gotta do, all he does to do is wake up and still got the money coming.
That's it.
Wake up.
That's it. And so I think that that's a wonderful thing. And I think that people it just means that you have a pension and that you can qualify. So when you can qualify as a pensionado, what does the process look like for bringing the rest of your family in?
It's $1,000. You have to have at least $1,000 for yourself.
For each of them.
For yourself,
Okay.
and then $250 for additional dependent.
Okay.
So
that's what's up. Because a lot of people are not thinking about that. And you see a lot of younger people who might have a similar situation. And they're like, well, that's only for the retirees. Because we think
it's really a shout out for the veterans, especially the ones that are getting disability or that have recently retired. Most of those recently retired are under 40 or 40, right? Real close.
Yes.
So they're all come on over. Obviously, Panama is still saying, hey, we're looking for you.
Absolutely. Now, as far as like the veterans piece, you're in the Gorgona area. Are there any services that cater to U.S. veterans in that area?
Now, at this point, I have not done a lot of research into that. We were gone this summer. We've been back maybe 3 weeks now. So we're going into that, deeper research phase of those types of services and how close they really are to us. I know, like we were speaking to Alfredo before, I know in this city, some of those areas, they do have like VA clinic, and so where you can get some VA healthcare and things of that nature. But I haven't searched out here yet. Have not.
Well, even though, I think one thing that I do like about where you are is like you're not in the city, but you're not really that far. You can be in the city within an hour. So once you do establish those benefits and find out where you go, and there's no place here that's a quote unquote VA hospital. There are hospitals and different clinics that serve us. And so that's a good thing. But they'll tell you in a minute, we're not a VA hospital, but they serve all the branches. And Alfredo goes to Brisa de Golf Norte, the Brisa's hospital, and they're very good to him. So I can also connect you with a veteran service officer. So that would be a good connection for you, because then he would tell you exactly what your benefits are here. If you need assistance with regard to any disability claims or anything like that. Alfredo got a lot more done here than he did in the United States. As far as the disability process and everything like that, they're awesome here. I feel like they really give you just specialized care. It's that at no point do you feel like a number. Everybody kind of knows your name. And we live close enough to walk to the hospital. So that's nice. He gets all of his treatments over there. Okay. So then you're going to continue to work while you're here. And that leads me to your current business. Tell us about what you all do as far as your business life. What you looking at little island for? That's Big Island. Actually, when I look at you both together, I could just see island in both of you. Really, honestly, y'all are just like a perfect little island.
Thank you. Our company is Navarros Webbing. So we build community platforms, websites. We have our own CRM. We started our company just helping entrepreneurs. We already had another company where we were giving them advice and helping them. And we realized they were having issues with having a website and having a brand and a presence. So then we decided to add on, doing websites for them. And it's been great ever since.
Yeah, it's grown because everyone was like, oh, well, do you do marketing? Do you do this? Do you do this? And we're like, No, but I guess we can see that's where the market is shifting. That's where the demand is, and that's when we started diving into that about 5 years ago. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And it's great because it allows us to actually move around and be able to do things like this, be in Panama and live our life.
So in that regard, you're a digital nomad.
I am a digital nomad.
And he's great too because like he did all the wiring for the IT for like having our Wi-Fi here. So then now he's gonna extend it to the beach so we can be on the beach with our laptops if you want to. So
Yeah, we're gonna put a payment gateway in front of that for everybody else.
Yeah. For real.
Everybody else will be, you be like, look, I can't even get on.
Yes. I'm gonna be like, oh, it's okay. It's $5 a day. Nice fast internet. Go ahead and pay.
Wow. Well, that's good. So internet signal, and that's I'm glad that you mentioned that because that is something that people want to know. You know, the digital nomads, like when you go into different countries, because it's like the basic, Panama speed, like 3G.
Well, no, so we have, I don't know if we have 600 megabytes per second. So we're good. That's plenty enough.
Listen, Antonio, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, do you have, don't be trying to uptalk me. You know, I don't know what none of that means.
Our internet is fast enough. Our internet is fast
enough.
It's more than fast. It's more than capable for me to watch movies on 10 different devices and just be fine.
Awesome. Now that'll work. I understand that. You start talking about MBS per second and all that. You're just showing off. That's what you're doing. So, okay, so the internet is good enough, and they even will hook you up so you could be out at the beach, you know, spending time.
They're not gonna hook us up. We gonna hook us up so we can be out at the beach. That is another thing that we're getting into is networking and because we have been nominated with Black Wall Street USA to be on their technology committee. And they have a focus on helping Black businesses have internet and kind of modernizing them. So we're doing that with Black Wall Street USA, as well as we're on the committee with NAACP with the Northwestern Conference, so Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana to do technology with them as well. So.
That is awesome. I love, I talk to y'all all the time. I love these interviews because I get to get all into your business. Don't I? Look, I'm like, let me write that down. NAACP. Awesome. Congratulations. So not only that, you are, you're in relationship with Black expats in Panama. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we built the platform.
Okay, so you like, oh yeah, them. I mean, I was talking about NAACP and Black Wall Street. I mean, Black expats in Panama. Yeah, okay.
No, I think it's actually really great because even with Black Wall Street USA, they have locations all over the world. So they have different locations, and they encourage people to go out and travel and see that. So even with being with Black expats in Panama, it fits right on in with the whole concept overall. And I love Black expats in Panama. I think the organization is great. I was happy that we were able to help build a platform for all the members and really help people get on there and meet. And it's still fun because even yesterday, there was someone who was passing through and we were talking to them about potentially meeting up. And we were able to ask them, hey, are you on the Beat platform? Oh yeah, I'm on that and on this list. And we were able to get some feedback and then say, oh yeah, okay, well we built that, we did that. So if you have any other suggestions, it's just really nice to be like, get the word in, and it's always a great response without them knowing any affiliation, that we have first. So those are good signs that things are going well.
Yeah. That is a good sign, and it must be nice when you can say, yeah, I did that. So Navarros webbing, for those that don't know, you have Black expats in Panama, and then this team here approached us about a newer concept of an online platform, And we have just been working, we've been working together on this probably since about January. I think we probably first started,
Yeah,
started.
actually working, yeah.
So they are like essentially part of our team. You guys are so smart. I think that, I think when I first talked to you, because I have partners, I have partners mainly, Santiago and Chris. They're like the people that I would deal with from an IT perspective. And I'm like, I think that this is a really good thing. And then when we all talked and then it's created and then decided to be in a relationship together, I think it has just been awesome. I really appreciate the fact that even some of the stuff as you're explaining it to me, because you know, um, it may take me a minute to understand, but I always think that, both you and Irina, you have marvelous ideas. You should be into marketing because it's always like it's the first thing in your mind as things are coming up, like the whole marketing aspect of it. And so you bring so much more to the table than, I don't want to say web designer, because it's so much more than that. It is definitely, so much more than that. And we launched our BCP back in May, officially. And so far it's going really well. And, we meet regularly. We're constantly building on it. And we really could not have done any of that without you guys. So,
Well, we appreciate that. Really appreciate the opportunity. I think we were really looking for an organization that really still fit with our goals and something that we would want to be a part of. So when we were sitting there watching all those Charlotte Van Horn videos, I was like, I think this will work. She's got it. She's got it.
I remember the first day when you're like, and she reached back out to me. I was like, she did? Okay,
yeah, like
okay.
good.
So was Irina probably, was it Irina or you that said, you gotta see this ghetto Jersey chick from and wrong, you got here, baby. Loud and wrong, just Jersey all over.
I saw genuineness. I saw authenticity. I saw it just being you and just reaching out to your people and people were responding.
Yeah,
so that was really good.
And I haven't changed yet, have I?
Not yet. We're working on it. No,
Antonio, I always say it. You are so shady. It is ridiculous. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're our neighbors. And I know that both of us was traveling quite a bit during the summer, but I hope that we can actually connect. Y'all gotta have me over to y'all place. I mean, I gotta see how they really do it. Okay, dogs do it. So now tell me this. There's a lot of people that come here that want to come here, and we talk about it sometimes how like Mexico is so much more popular for young people. But I'm wondering, is Mexico more popular for young people with children, do you think? What's the difference between the population of young people under 40, I should say, and then people under 40 with children? Do you think that Mexico is as much of a draw for people under 40 with children? Do you know? Do you think?
I think Mexico is, I think everyone knows about Mexico because obviously it's our southern, the U.S. southern border. I would say Mexico is easier to get to, but even when I was in, and this is not necessarily Mexico, I was in Miami because I was shipping some of our stuff over, which was a whole ordeal to get that done. But I was like, I do like Miami, I really like it, but I was like, I don't like it for a family, for me. So, and I feel like Panama creates a good situation to have a family atmosphere for the kids and things of that nature. It's funny because y'all Jersey runs heavy here in Panama because we have the Panama Coastal International School. Go ahead and tell somebody she went to high school with is the.
I didn't realize that I found out. So the guy I went to high school with is actually the vice principal there. So he's been there for 12 years. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
is he Panamanian? He got Panamanian background? No. So he was on to Panama early.
Yes. Yeah. So he's the vice principal over there, and I think somebody else from that same area is out here as well. He used to coach at the school. I think his wife talks at the school. I think we talked about that briefly the other day. But so it makes it a community.
Hook a sister up.
Yes, yes. So it makes it a community. So that part is nice.
And it's like, I don't know, like we went to a restaurant out here. It was game night. Ruth was throwing game night. So we all went over there, and Tony's playing billiards or spades, and I come down and I'm about to, trying to help Isla while I'm eating. And the guy that works there is like, oh, I'll take her. And then he takes her and he's just holding her so I can eat. So it's like family. It feels like family out here.
Yes. I think that's sort of amazing how I think when you're talking about perfect strangers in the United States, like the connection is not the same. Not to say that we don't connect just, brother to sister and vice versa, but I just think that it's a little bit different because I think that we know that we're all in a different place and that we all need support. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And you're gonna see that a lot. And it's like I think like it with Black expats in Panama, I didn't have that support. I really didn't. I didn't know how to connect to other African Americans that were already here in Panama. And I came on a different track because my family was here and I never watched a YouTube video or anything that people nowadays do when they're coming in. So all I had was the exposure of my family, which your family is supported, but they wasn't necessarily connected with no expat community.
Right.
And so it's really nice that we are able to connect in that way and help each other. So I definitely want to talk to my Jersey sisters and brothers in the schooling system. So
y'all deep out here.
Isla is not 3 yet. Out of 3?
No, she'll be 3 in March in the spring.
Yeah.
So are you going to send her to school now? Is that what you're planning on doing?
We were hoping so, but she's still a little too young. They unequivocally said not yet.
Right.
So that won't happen. But we'll do that probably in March, in the March time frame. Get her in school.
Once she turns 3.
One more time.
Once she turns 3.
Yeah, once she turns 3. Yeah. So once she turns 3, we'll put her in school. It helps us. There is a cost for the school, but for this school, it's relatively not that much. It's what $3,400, $3,500, something like that for the school year, not a month or anything like that. So for the school year, and when you think about either doing daycare or doing another private school or anything like that, it's hands down significantly cheaper to just go ahead and put her in that school system.
So the school that she would start, is it like it have preschool with the school?
They do have preschool. They have a nursery, which is for their staff members, and then they have preschool and on up to pre-K, I'm assuming. And then,
all the way to 12th.
Yeah, all the way to 12th grade. So.
Yeah. And it's not far from the house, so it's like right down the dirt road.
Oh Lord.
It's on concrete. Just our section is dirt.
Yeah.
Our section.
Tony's trying to fix what is it? What is the car?
Oh, a little go-kart that came with his house.
So we could ride through the sand and then cut off the dirt road.
But something, I guess it's like if when people want a beach community, that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
That's not where my love lies. No. For me, but I think that what's important is that you like it. You like it. And what's also important is that you can go and you might decide, in 2 years, I'm going to do something else.
We're getting a chicken coop built. So we're going to build the chicken coop out there.
Chicken coop house.
And then we're going to plant a garden. So we already got all the seeds. So we're going to plant that in the front.
Who's going to plant a garden?
Me and Tony.
Okay, girl. I love it. I do. I love it. Y'all can just bring me some vegetables. That's all.
Eggs.
And
Well, I think it's good. And I think
it'll
that
be fun.
you experience something new. So now what about Isla in Spanish speaking? What do
Yeah,
you
so
think?
we found, Rena found someone that can teach online, so via Zoom, and she wasn't too crazy
Yeah,
amount
not at all.
per month. And then I found someone that's local here in Gogona who's an English teacher, and she said she'll come over and teach on the weekend. So on Saturday, she's gonna come over and start teaching all of us, actually.
Isla
Start
too.
teaching Spanish.
So
Isla as well.
see, right now is Isla, she's watching a lot of Spanish. So she's saying things in Spanish, like if you ask her something, like she responds, she'll say sí. So she knows that means yes. So for the words we don't know, she's saying, so we're just like,
We don't know what she's saying. So I think she has a big mix of English and Spanish right now.
yeah.
So
Yes.
it's hard for us to understand, but we hear the dialect, we're like, that's not English, that's more Spanish.
Yeah.
But we don't know what you're saying to me.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you say that because I think that what my daughter learned or heard was that when kids are learning like two languages at the same time, their actual speech development is slower.
Yes,
It is. It
This
is.
is true. Yes.
It is
But that's
definitely.
good.
Talking.
But I mean, it's like, but they're once, you know, they're going to catch up and they're learning two languages. And I
Right.
think that's going to be great. I think that, like, how do you think for people, say, coming into Panama or a Spanish speaking country that have kids who are already in school? So you have time to prepare. So
Right.
what about the people that are coming in and say you got a 5 or 7 or 9 or 10-year-old and they need to go to school? Is it the recommendation is to just send them to international schools? Do you know anyone in your community who has taken and just said, hey, listen, go to the school over here and pick up that Spanish?
Well, this international school speaks, they're primarily English.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've run into a couple of the students, and I've asked them how their experience has been. They're like, we love it.
Yeah.
And they were older. They were, I mean, at least, I would say at least 10 or 11 age range. And they were like, we love it. Like, it's a great school. So
That's
I would say,
international school. So they're not necessarily learning Spanish there.
Yeah.
no, they're learning English, and then you learn Spanish in the community if that's where you're going to be surrounded by, or something like that. I mean, but I would recommend that to someone who's already been in school. I wouldn't change your school language because that's probably could be pretty hard. If you just imagine yourself going to college and then switching to a Spanish speaking college in the middle of that, that would be kind of rough, I think.
Yes.
But I would say find a English speaking or someone that does both, because that was one of our things, was to do a school that taught both, but kind of they slowly progressed from one language to the other. Like, so I think they started in English and then progressed into Spanish, something of that nature.
That's how my granddaughter's school did. So she's been in that school since she was 2 months. And the school is Spanish speaking. She's in Florida. The school is Spanish speaking. And so the first 3 years is are y'all froze? The Okay, y'all know how that go. Y'all know how this Wi-Fi situation be cutting up on us sometime, but so sorry about that interruption. But what I was saying was that when my granddaughter started preschool at 2 months, they said the first 3 years was going to be all Spanish, and then after that it would be bilingual till 5. So she's just progressed out of that school. But it has just been so awesome, and I think that for our kids to learn a second language is so important. And I think that basically it's us doing a new thing, because people will talk trash in front of us because they just assume Black people don't speak other languages. So we got to do a new thing. But you were saying that you definitely would not, think it was easy to bring a student in and put them into a Spanish speaking school.
Well, I say not one that has gotten comfortable and just like really settled in. I would say if I had to think about it, I would say my cap on doing something like that would be elementary school. You know, once they're out of elementary school, that's probably going to be just even with the age range on learning another language, that's a whole ordeal when you're at that age. You know, it's a lot harder. And then to combine that with math and reading that they don't know either is kind of rough for them. So if you do it, I would say you need to take it lightly on them and supplement that with some tutors or something of that nature. But I mean, there's schools that speak both languages, so I would pick something like that. That would make sense.
Well, and I think Isla, at her age, it's a little easier, you know, to
Yes.
kind of integrate, because she's not really stuck one way or the other, because her language is still developing. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So she's not, you know, I think this is a great time for her, and she gonna be running circles around y'all in language.
Hopefully not trying to learn together.
Right. Like, oh, no, oh, my.
And so you can keep up, right? But I think that
Right.
I think that the little babies like that, they learn different. They're like sponges, where we got so much other stuff competing, you know.
Yeah.
And so you know, a lot of people here have done like the Duolingo. So have you thought about doing Duolingo or?
We have it.
We have not Duolingo, do we have? It's a different one, right?
We just don't use it. We have it.
Oh, we have probably 2 or 3 apps. No, and it's like it's a little smaller one, but it was more interactive than the other ones. Now Duolingo might be just
Everyone loves
interactive.
Duolingo.
Everyone loves Duolingo.
Everyone loves
We-
Duolingo. I need to
yeah,
try it.
but I like in-person instruction. So
Yeah.
that allows me to ask a specific question that I'm hung up on. Okay, let me understand this concept. I'm trying to convey this concept. How do I convey this concept? And that helps me out with being able to speak to someone. So having someone that's going to do it online teaching us and someone that's going to come to the house, I think that'd be beneficial for us,
You
as
make
well
a
as supplementing with the app. Yeah.
supplementing, and you make a very good point, because people learn differently. Like people say, well, I mean, your husband is bilingual, why don't you know Spanish? Because get out my business, okay? But
Well, guess what? I grew up with a dad. I grew up with a bilingual father, and I still don't know.
huh?
I said I grew up with a bilingual father, and I still don't know.
Yes.
I'm,
And my husband was better at math too. But when I was in college and I'm math challenged, you know, we was about to end up in divorce court, you know, for him trying to teach me, because he was like, huh, he was just like, girl, like, no, he just didn't have the patience. It just, you know,
right.
so my thing is, I always thought that I was do a little bit better with organized learning. You know, just throwing me in a room with people speaking Spanish is not necessarily the best thing for me. You know, I'm getting better at that now, but I have gotten to the point of tears. I mean, it has been overwhelming for me because I'm a
Yeah.
communicator, okay? And I have a lot to say, okay? And so it's Spanish and I can't jump into none of the conversations. And then I
Right.
myself, I'm on my phone, and you don't want to look like you're disinterested, but I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. There's too many people talking. It's like I can't even follow one conversation. Like when I'm for me, as I'm trying to learn a language, to hear all a bunch of people talking at one time, I get completely lost to where I can't hear anything. Because when you're
Yeah,
it's about hearing, right? It's
it
about
is.
being able to hear what people are saying. So, but you know,
So
we
I've learned to use those. I've learned to use like the pictures, the hand motions, and then and stay in context. So I can understand probably, let's say, 50 to 75% of what someone's talking about, as long as they're using hand motions and it's in context with something. You know, we're talking about a house. Talk to me. Use hand motion. I can understand you. Yeah, we're talking about going to this place. Talk to me about it. Use hand gestures. I can figure it out. If you're talking to me on the phone, I might as well not even be on the phone because I'm not.
yeah.
I don't know what's going
That's a very good point. And I had an instructor for a while, and she was old school. I was trying to teach her to be on Zoom, and she wanted to be in person, which was great. It's just hard for my schedule, you know. And but one of the things that she would teach me is using hand gestures. And she said, "Tango hambre," you know, and she would show me that I want to eat, I want to drink. and I was just thought she would say, no, do it. And I said, okay. And so I would do it, tango, hombre, and I just thought to myself, this is so silly. And then I happened to be out with one of our friends who doesn't speak as much English, and he used hand gestures for everything. So as he was telling his story in Spanish, I was following just based on his gestures. And I said, that's why you hire professionals that know more than you do.
Exactly.
But I think that you made a really good point in that if one way is not working for you, consider that what is the best way for Irina may not be the best way for you. And I'm saying you in general,
Right.
because people need different things. And now that I've been here a little bit while longer, I'm really proud because I am picking up more things. And I'm just having like a small group of friends who I'm teaching them English and they're teaching me Spanish. So that's been really good for me. And that's what we did our first cafe and conversation. We had like 20 people show up and we were at the coffee house, Casa Sucre, and it was just awesome. Everybody felt so accomplished because the other thing is you feel shy about trying to speak Spanish sometimes.
Right. Yeah, you do.
Because you
We
sound
gotta have one of those out here towards the beach for the beach bums out here. Okay.
So this has been a great conversation. I'd like you to tell us if you have any pending projects, or things that you want us to know about Avar and some things that you're doing. And then lastly, I would like for you to give us any parting advice for people coming to Panama or relocating to another international space.
Yeah. So I would say we are going to start a crowdfunding project to create a community out here towards the beach. So if people are interested in that, they are more than welcome to reach out. We're looking to create a community. That way, everyone's in high rises and they're mixed up and they're spread out, but it would be nice to have a community of Black expats, in one location where they can access and things of that nature. So people are looking to buy into a project and have a home out here somewhere. That's what we are starting to look into and create as we're getting comfortable and understanding what's needed out here. That's something that would be really nice for the beach area. So that's the bigger project that we're doing. As far as of our webbing,
fill it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then they need a nice coffee shop.
Panama came about.
Exactly. And then with our webbing, I mean, we are managing the platforms that we have now and still doing web design for the small businesses that need it. I think it's really important to have a good brand, to have a good showing, a good presence online, especially in these times. And the social media platforms alone are not really enough. And not everyone understands that enough. So one of our jobs is to help them understand why you need to go ahead and invest into a website and have that foundation and have those things if you want to be taken, seriously amongst your peers. If you're doing a side hustle project and you have your other things going on, it's great. But when you're ready to be taken care of, then come over here and talk to us.
Well, I think that you make a good point. And the one thing that I've had to relax my expectations on here is that a lot of people don't have websites. And they either have no sites or they're on Facebook or they're on Instagram, which is cool. I'd rather you have, and I've just learned to accept that, I'd rather you have some presence than no presence. However, a lot of the people that we work with, they're not on social media.
Right.
They're not doing Twitter, they're not doing Instagram, they're not doing Facebook. So you're missing out on a whole segment by not even having a basic www address, And so I think that you're in a good place for that. And I think that you hit on something else that is very important, to share the importance of it and how they're losing market share by not having it. To get that message across is where you're going to really be able to pick up a lot of Panama business. So,
right, and I'm gonna let Arena talk. I want to say this. It's just about giving people the confidence to come in and do business with you. And just like you have that new member, that decal to put on businesses, you know, that shows if you see that deep member, you just like, oh, okay, this is already great. I'm gonna have a good experience here.
Right.
yes,
I can already do that. So that's really nice.
And I think with our CRM, what to say about that is like, so you have for people that are using Instagram and stuff like that, that's cool. But as your business grows, you need to be able to more so automate a lot of processes. So that way you're not spending a lot of time following up with clients. Sometimes you might reach out to someone and they want to buy from you, they just forget, it gets busy.
Yeah.
You need to have things in place that's going to keep on reaching out maybe 30 days later, 60 days, 90 days later, you know, that keeps them on track until they become your customer. And then still give them stuff. So I think for us, for our business, it's always growing. We listen to the people, we listen to what they need, and then we're really creative. We figure it out, and then we put it together. And that's what I love about, you know, our business.
good job. And you know something, you bring up a really good point, because if you're on somebody else's platform, period, you finna do exactly what they allow you to do. And that's it. Instagram and Facebook have limitations. I mean, even to the point where in some instances you can't post a photo and a moving image together, you know, on Facebook, depending on how and where and when you're trying to post it. They tell you that. Whereas if it's your platform and that's what you want to do, you have a lot more flexibility. It might be something that will work exactly what you need it to do for your business. But Instagram and Facebook, because the other thing is, it's free. Instagram, Facebook is free. It's free marketing, and I am not putting it down. I am not putting it down because I know, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, be what he is or he ain't. I have built some businesses on Facebook. Absolutely. I worked the hell out some Facebook. You know, really came into Instagram. And then I used to just get mad because Instagram wanted everything in a square. You know,
Right.
like, why should I be in a square? Why can't I post a link? Why can't I post a link in my description of the post? Those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, the social media is great. I'm really not even talking about it's just an extension of your presence, though. It's not your sole presence. And that's really what's important.
You know, or you're missing out on opportunities if it is.
Especially if they decide that they want to close your account down and you have no one else's contacts or emails or anything like that. And now what are you going to do? So
very good point. I have a separate third-party app that collects all my data from members in my Facebook groups, and I have that for the particular reason, not for just this reason, but one thing that I do see it as a safeguard. If my group is ever hacked, I've heard nightmare stories. If my group is ever hacked and somebody shut it down, which I know is some folk out there that would love to do it, but if somebody hacked it and shut it down, at least I would have like a majority of the contacts. Stored somewhere off that platform. So that's true. Okay, so very good information. So what about the last minute advice? Did you have something else?
No, so I have some tips. Like if you're gonna go to an Airbnb out here in Panama, you want to get your own trash bags. So pack some trash bags because none of them had trash bags.
Right, none of them.
Nobody had trash bags. At first I thought it was like
an accident or something, and then the next place didn't have it. The next one we was like, oh, okay, they want us to buy trash bags.
They don't do trash bags. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you get someone to clean your home, make sure you have all the cleaning supplies because no one brings theirs.
Yeah, they just show up at the door.
So make sure you have that.
Those are basic things. I mean, with the shipping, know that there's going to be a fee when you ship and a fee whenever you receive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
things of
Did
that
your
nature.
shipping company like lay that out for you though?
So they did not until the last minute. So I drove stuff from Oklahoma all the way to Miami, Florida, right? Because I was already going to Florida anyways, and it made sense to do, so it was all right. When I got to Miami, and I'm talking to them again to try to, narrow down where I need to go, let's finish, let's do this process because I'm trying to fly back to Panama. Oh, okay, it's this amount, and then when you get there, you're gonna have to pay some import tax, and I gotta do what? And how much is this tax? And what is this?
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're not even giving you specific numbers. So,
Wow.
but I mean, other people's experience could have been better, but
it's gonna be hostage.
yeah. So we're getting ready to pay that bill here tomorrow, I think.
Okay, so the stuff hasn't arrived yet.
It's arrived. I think it hasn't arrived to our house. I think it got here Saturday, and they've just been sorting through or whatever.
Okay, so
Then
it
they'll
just
let us
got
know.
here. Okay.
But it got here, yeah. So it got here just fine. It's actually not bad. I would say, as far as if you're really looking to move, and I know we've talked about this, if you really love your furniture, don't bring it with you. Just know how much it costs compared to how much it costs to ship it and how you really feel about it. Things of that nature. So the import tax is real. And I would say Panama is a lower cost of living once you settle in. After you settle in, you get that comfortable cost of living, that lower. But when you're first moving, especially if you're moving with a family, it's a lot of expenses up front. And then it kind of would just die out, just like, oh, okay,
Level out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that you say that too, because people, I don't know sometimes what people expect. But this is not something, even though it might be less than you pay in certain states and areas in the United States, you need to be prepared for it. You need to be prepared for it. And I think that some people aren't. And so after a few months, they're gone.
Right.
They back to the state.
Some people out of necessity, they're gone, or because they didn't expect so much things and they don't realize it's going to relax. But you just had to be prepared a little bit more up front.
And there's resources for that. I mean, nowadays you don't have to move and just be flying by the seat of your pants. There's a lot of information out here that can help you make good choices.
There are, and they can always, especially if they're listening and hopefully they're a member of the platform, they can always reach out, ask questions. That's really what it's for, to say. And that's been a good resource for us, even with finding the clean person that we have, one that we've had. Hey, do you have any recommendations? Oh yes, this person does this person does that. Those things have been really nice to have.
Recommendations go a long way.
Yes, yeah.
They do. They absolutely do.
Anything else comes to mind? Tell me about the vet. Tell me about your vet experience.
Oh, it was interesting. So Irina tells the story about how we got the cat better.
So, all right. So we have a driver, sidebar. But if you don't have a car and you get here, you definitely, if you have a taxi driver and he's cool, you want to get his information, you want to go ahead and talk to him on WhatsApp because he already knows where he lives and he can get you to and from, and it's just an easier situation.
Yeah.
So luckily for us, Yvonne is our guy. Anytime we go anywhere, we just hit him up and he's always available. We told him we wanted a cat, and so one day he picks us up and he's like, okay, so you guys still want a cat? And we're like, yes. And he's like, so you want a baby cat? And we're like,
yeah. He said Chica.
Yeah.
Said Chica.
Oh, we're like, yeah, we want a kitten. We want a baby kitten. He's like, you want a baby kitten? We're like, we want a kitten. Yeah, we want a kitten. We want kids. I don't want a big cat. So then he comes, we're coming home from an event and he does a little detour and we pick up this cat that's wrapped up. And so when we get home, we unwrap the cat and she's like really, really tiny. So we're looking it up like, how old is this cat? And so we find out later on this cat was a week old. So we had to go through a whole process of feeding her milk and then we gave the formula. Didn't realize these cats are built differently. They drink milk.
So we went to the vet, and I'm sitting there like, I'm not trying to go to that for a 1 week old cat that I'm not even sure if I even like yet.
I don't know if I like it.
We go to the vet and we're sitting there. Luckily, the veterinarian she did speak broken English, but enough English
Yes.
to work it out. And so we finally get to the back, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna run some lab drugs, some blood tests." And she's not asking us,
She's
"Do
just
you
telling us
want
what's
us?
gonna happen.
Would you like us
And
to
I'm
do this?"
sitting
She's
here
just,
like,
"I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this." Yeah, I'm gonna do this and that, and she ran blood tests and gave shots and gave us 3 medicines, and I'm like,
and I'm
all
sitting
right,
here, we
this
still
cat
haven't
going to
heard
stay
the
here.
bill. She's like, she's got this, she's got this, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And I'm like,
I'm like, shoot,
fuck that, boss. Like, how
Yeah,
much is this gonna be?
this
I'm
cat's
looking
about
at
to stay
Tony
here.
through the door because Tony's got our groceries from across. So he called it the Walmart, but
That's what Majo Tazo.
Maspazo is Walmart to him. You get your liquor and your groceries all in one place. So he's got the cart right outside the door, so he doesn't want to leave or walk away. So he's looking at me, and I'm making faces like, I have no idea what this bill's about to be, but it might be like $400. I'm not really sure.
Yes, and then we finally get it, and then yeah, exactly.
I've had some vet bills, and I've gone to the vet. The States, it would have been more than 400.
Yes, and then we get it, and I glanced at the paper, and I was like 600, and then I just read the decimal wrong. It was $68.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, I can do $68. That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's good
I
to
got
know.
that. We'll be
Because-
back tomorrow. You know?
All we think about is what we know,
Right.
right? And you thinking, oh Lord, look, start the car.
Yes.
Right. His wallet's in the car. Let me
Yeah.
go help him find it.
We'll be right back. Okay. Lose our number.
We'll be right. You know what? I left my wallet in the car. I'll be right back for this cat. That's funny.
You don't have to follow me to the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a great experience.
Well, I'd like to share before we go. I'm always taking too much time.
It's okay. I mean, I think it's just been a great experience overall. I mean, it's been an adventure. Even coming from the airport, I would say arrange a ride before you get there, you know, because not because of anything crazy, just because you want someone that knows where you're going.
Because they all
You know,
say at
that's
the
about
airport,
it.
everyone's like, I can get you there.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
and
in
it is
the
a
car,
distance.
Say what?
It is a distance.
yeah.
Like-
Yeah, especially if you're coming to the beach. But yeah, Panama City is a distance in itself.
Panama City is not too bad, but if you come in and you want to go to Coronado or Gorgona, if you want to
Oh,
go straight
yeah.
home, y'all don't do that. Y'all go to the city first and then go from there when you
Well,
come
we
in.
did that. That's what we did the first time, and we thought about doing that ongoing. But then Ivan, that's why she said get a good driver, because we just got to get in, and we could fall asleep and wake up and we're at home.
Wow,
So it's
that's
a better
that
experience.
means a lot.
So, yeah, that does. He's really good, and all I got to do is say, hey, can you take me here? He already knows that I'm gonna take you there. I might have to sit and wait for you, and then I'll bring
Like the
you
grocery
back.
store. He takes us to the grocery store and he waits for us, and it's not even expensive.
And then he brings us all the way
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
It's relationships. You have to come in and establish relationships. When you
Absolutely.
find somebody who you like and they like you, they'll say, okay,
Yes.
you know, we're gonna
And that
do
was the situation. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
That was the situation we kind of just went into because we rented a car over the weekend because we
Oh,
wanted to
that was crazy.
go and do some stuff. And
Yeah.
Oscar, well, I'm gonna just say that name. I won't say anything else about the company. So
Okay.
he picked me up and he was really complaining about gringos
I just want to
essentially.
know.
No, about gringos and things of that nature. And he's like about how they treat him. And he wasn't necessarily talking about melanated people as far
Right.
as gringos. He was talking about other people that come in from America. And he's like, they flaunt their this and they flaunt their money. They try to do this, but then when I give them a bill, they're like, oh no, how much is that? Or like, whoa, I gotta pay that much. But like he was really distraught by because he picked me up and he dropped me off, and both times we had essentially the same conversation, you know,
Wow.
brought up by him about how people are acting. And the funny thing is, I just rented this car. They picked me up on Saturday, right? And I dropped it off yesterday, right? They still have not billed me.
He
I
signed-
haven't signed a contract. I haven't done
They
anything.
just dropped off
But
the-
that's because of the relationship
Yeah.
just being so nice and friendly. And they were just like, okay, well, we'll send you the bill. We'll be okay. Oh, maybe we should give you some time off because we were a little late. You know, but that just comes from being genuine, nice people versus demanding and, you know, treating people horrible. So don't do that when you come in here.
And sometimes it's just not what we're used to.
Yeah.
It's just not what we're used to. Like the community, it's like I think that our communities have changed so much in the US. I grew up in a small town in New Jersey, and my mother knew all of my friends' mothers and fathers, and they all went to school together, and it was a community. We didn't lock our doors, you know, but things have changed so much in the US and gotten so away from that. And so I think that when you come here, it's like you need a refresher course in that. And even professionals that I work with, you know, Giovanna, Dr. Duncan, you know, the attorneys, the doctors, the high level professionals, baby, they're not fooling with you on the weekend. They're not. They're with their family. They're with.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And in the United States, people in those positions, you know, if it's an emergency, Dr. Duncan, you know, I'm sure he would come through. But pretty much, if you send Giovanna, I laughed and I said, "Girl, you send Giovanna all the emails and messages you want on Saturday. She get back to you on Monday." You know, whereas US is like work, and the community is family, and that's a priority for them. And
It's
refreshing. For the first time, you really got to go. But for the first time, like last year, I felt so connected to Christmas. Hadn't in years, but that's because the excitement here, like in the communities, it is like everybody is about it. And Alfredo, he had all these bags on the table, like for the workers in the community. He had a bag for everybody, and he had groceries there. He had groceries in there. He had Abuelo, you know, for Abuelo rum or whatever for some mom. And I'm like, you really giving somebody pasta noodles?
We're gonna have to do that for the people that help us out around here. We're gonna have to do
They really
that.
appreciate it. They give food to each other for the holidays. We had in our community, we had a marching band, baby. And the community members, we got together, we put we collected like food, snack bags and candy and gifts for the kids. And then we went around behind the marching band and gave out, you know, stuff to the kids. And at first he was like, we need our elf hats and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you told him, I said, you told him I'd do it?
You don't even know if I'm okay with this or not.
And he was like, yes, Cheyenne, here's your hat. And I'm like, okay. So, but it was really nice. It was really nice.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was really nice. It made me happy and it made me feel connected, which is something I have not felt probably since growing up. It really did. I have not felt that in a community since I was like literally growing up. You know, during those years between growing up and my old ass now, I mean, it's like you have one neighbor. You make friends with one neighbor that can watch the house when you're gone, and y'all can pick boxes up from the steps. That's all I need. That's it. Everybody else, I have no idea who they are, you know.
Right.
So,
that's
but
it.
listen, I got a roll, but it has just been wonderful chatting with y'all. Yes, ma'am.
There's one thing I want to throw out there. There's that area, I don't know if you remember the name of it, but it looks like Los Angeles, like the city in California.
Costa del Este.
Costa del Este.
Yeah, it's
so
a wonder.
I recommend that place.
Say what?
Did she say that's where Los Angeles is near?
No. She's just saying for the people, she recommends that area.
Yeah, if you want to go visit, for people who like LA, you should check that area out because it's definitely has that feel at nighttime, and they have live music, and yeah,
You mean Casco Viejo?
No,
Costa del Este.
I believe it's Costa del Este.
Costa del Este, in the city where they have the mangrove and the boardwalk.
Yes.
Out there, okay. Yeah. I've never really been to Costa del Este at night. That's nice. I've been out there during the day.
Oh, go right there.
It was really nice. She liked it. That was a surprise area that we didn't know about. So
Yeah.
that was really nice
Yeah,
when we saw it.
it's a little high end.
It's
It
not a
might
little
not
high
be in
end. It's
everybody's
way high end.
Yes,
It's way
it
high
might
end.
not be in
So
everybody's budget. Everybody ain't
no, but for
balling
all
like
y'all that
y'all.
want to be, for all y'all that want to be bougie, Panama got bougie for y'all too. How about
Yes,
that?
yes. For our bougies. Yeah, Costa
Yeah.
del Este is pretty cool. Very nice. That's where they have the Audi and Porsche dealerships. You know, stuff like you buy. That's where you
That's where
buy
they got
your
the penthouses that
BMW.
are the whole floor. That's where they got the whole floor penthouses and things like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's something for everyone here.
It is.
You know, it's just, finding it. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I will talk to you guys later.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.